Yo, 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 what's up, everyone? We're sorry for the voice quality today. I had some technical issues and my mic has gone to shit. So, yeah. All right, let's get Fred in here. All right. So, today we're going to have a Q&A with Fred. There's Fred. Hey, Fred. Say hello.
Hey, what's up? You guys hear me?
Yep.
I think it should work.
All right. So,
Hello.
how's the audio for everyone on Twitch? You guys tell me if it's good, bad, okay. All right. I mean, I know it's not great, but like I said, I had some issues with my mic, but how's Fred's audio? How's my audio? Can you hear both of us fine?
Hello, 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 hello. This is me.
Yeah. People are saying your mic is not that great, Fred.
Oh, wait,
People. When I say people, I mean Steve.
Oh, hello? Is that better? You'll just have to hire me on Discord, I think, because
Yep. Let
I
me
don't know.
try that.
Let me try to put it more directionally, like that.
I don't know if it's the quality he's complaining about. I try
Okay.
again.
Quality isn't that good. Interesting.
Hmm. Okay, so I made you louder. Let's.
How do you know it's a Rode microphone? Jesus Christ. Oh, man.
Rode microphone. Alright guys, so as you know, we're gonna do the third installment of the Q&A. Okay, we're gonna grab some questions that people asked previously, where we gave everyone the platform so we can discuss these things. And then we'll proceed to the questions in chat, alright? Alright, so the first question we received here. Oh my god, Jesus Christ. Alright, so the first question came from Facebook from Patrick French. He says, love the game and have been playing on and off for years. What future plans and updates do you have? More maps, more buildings, more zombies, more vehicles, more open interior inside buildings? So, Fred, you can talk a little about this. I'll finish off with the parts.
Right. So I think maps, there's a lot of them, and the more maps we add, what happens is we're just splitting the player base. If you see where I'm going with this, the more maps we add, it means the more servers we have to add. It splits the player base, and right now the player base isn't the biggest one, still standing, but it's not the biggest, and therefore that can cause player base split. But we could always work on the current maps in order to add more parts of the map, and that's been talked a little bit about. But yeah, essentially, more maps is a bad idea.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. And when it comes to things like the buildings, the opening up the buildings, we've come, I think, right now to a point with the buildings rework that they are satisfactory as they are. We could keep opening them, but I don't think that's just gonna. I think in the end, that's just gonna hurt more the PvP. If we open every single building of the game, it's just gonna be an incentive to camp, you know. Alright, so when it comes to more zombies, more vehicles, those things could be possible, yes. But for example, especially with the vehicles, I don't really see a need to add more. We've added a lot more vehicles throughout the time, and this is not a driving game that requires like new vehicles all the time, you know? So I think right
I mean, new
now,
vehicles doesn't really change anything.
yeah, exactly.
Um,
They just get you from place A to
we,
place B this at the same way.
yeah, we do. We have actually talked about, because right now we have 4 game modes. You've got, of course, arcade, survival, battle royale, and competitive. Arcade, survival, and battle royale are pretty. There's people who actually play them. Competitive is absolutely dead. And then we have within arcade, we have both PvP servers and warm up servers. And one of the ideas we've been playing around a little bit with, and I wanted to hear your guys' opinion, would be to combine, remove warm up and PvP servers, and then add a new mixture of those two into somehow of a little bit of a death match and move competitive over to that. Still have competitive as it is today, but add like a second, like 2 queues in competitive. One you can queue for a 5v5 match, and the other one you can just join a server and enter a random death match, which is a bit, a mixture of PvP servers and warm up servers. Um, so it will basically be like PvP servers essentially, but you won't bring in your own gear or loot. It's all about you can actually choose different loadouts, for example. That's the idea.
Yeah.
Um,
That will the idea is to make it so it's satisfactory as well for PvP server players,
yeah,
so you don't lose that feeling, because people do like that intense. So that's like Fred mentioned, the deathmatch mode. But we can also create like 2 modes there that you queue up for, either in group, either in solo, and it just joins you on a random server. That also will help us prevent people from playing bigger groups than they should be playing, because you're not sure in what lobby you're joining. So yeah, so people will be able to do like a deathmatch round. There's gonna be, our idea is to have like we already have separate rep table, not the reputation of the character, but leaderboards separate for each mode. Different ranks and stuff like that for each. That will get rid of warm up, because then it's gonna use that idea of not losing and just pretty much practicing, and also keep it fun and interesting for people who just want a quick PvP session and they don't have to go to Colorado or Caliwood or Oregon to find people to fight, see what town they're playing and stuff. All right. Let's
but yeah,
see.
I just wanted to add a quick note regarding the PvP servers. Some people wrote in the chat that they don't want them removed because they like it, but it's gonna essentially. There's one big fundamental problem with the PvP servers, and the biggest problem with it is that you are counting the reputation and the XP and everything else with a character that shares a completely different style of game, which would be the arcade open world. How can you it doesn't make any sense. The PvP servers, people don't care about the loot. I mean, I've seen people PvP and literally you don't PvP to loot or to gain items. You PvP because you want kills, you want XP, you want reputation, you want to climb the leaderboards, you want to become the rank 1. So why don't we instead turn all that into a separate game mode within competitive that actually gives you a rank and actually, uh, you know, um, yeah,
Yeah,
you get
and
the point.
and the idea, like I said, with the deathmatch, is it the gameplay itself? It's gonna feel exactly like you feel when you play PvP servers. Okay, it's not gonna be any. You're not gonna have any
No, it's
major
literally gonna
differences.
be PvP servers, but with extra features, maybe like a scoreboard at the top. Who's getting more kills during the past, I don't know, X amount of minutes. A bit of So like an ongoing deathmatch that never ends, but with a leaderboard that keeps shifting. You can see like in the past 10 minutes who's the top 3, and then all those points obviously go to a leaderboard, for example. That would be, I think that would be really cool. People would enjoy that. M249 like that, yeah, they will. We'll. I was thinking of, this is taking it a little too far, but I was thinking of adding like a loadout selector where you have a list of every single weapon in the game, and you can kind of create your favorite loadouts and then kind of use them. A bit like the loadout system in the inventory, but more advanced. That would be cool.
Yeah, Crow, exactly. That's one thing that's gonna prevent from happening, because you won't be able to join a lobby with just 2 players as well. You won't be able to join a lobby with 7 friends and then create 2 groups because you're going to be randomly set to a server. You're going to go into a
But it
lobby.
doesn't have to be that way. But we can always add, for example, that there has to be a minimum of people for the stats to count. Otherwise, it's just kind of for fun,
Yeah.
you know? Or a bit like Battle Royale, where in the beginning it's just a virtual lobby where, you kind of just get a random thing, and then once, I don't know, X amount of people join, you get to start. The only problem is, of course, if you are PvPing with and there's only 5 people joining the server. But I think that if we move the PvP game modes to this, it will pop a lot more. It's gonna be a lot more competitive, a lot more fun.
All right. There's a question that's very important, and we can discuss this. We have discussed this about the base building. What do we plan on doing with the base building for the future?
The base building system is incredibly complex, and the way I had to develop it was, it's all it, it, this engine is very limited to what we can do. And an engine is not something you can just swap on the fly like that. Engine is something that you build the game around. So you can't just get a better engine. So we're stuck with the one we have basically, and the one we have is fairly limited in many ways. And the building system is it's a lot of work, especially to get it working properly with that where things actually make sense. But yeah, definitely, if the building system would be something that you guys want in survival specifically, I am willing to put down the time and actually get it working. It's just it's gonna take some time. But if enough people want it, I'm all for it. I love the building system. I think it's amazing. It reminds me of some of the games I love, so I think it's a good addition.
Yeah. Plus, we already gathered enough info on the system with the pre-base building
Yeah.
that we had. It's easily, or well, not easy to develop. I wouldn't say easy to develop, but easy to know the direction we need to go with it. Like we know what needs improvement and what doesn't, what works and what doesn't. All right, let's go through another question. And Chris asks, are you gonna pay for ads, partnerships with players for sponsored streams, video to attract new players? I think that's. Do you have any insight on that, Fred? People always ask me that.
Steve is actually working on a new partnership idea. It's gonna
Incentive.
incentives to boost the amount of streamers, boost the amount of bigger streamers as well, and boost the amount, obviously, of influx of players. Now, the thing about marketing, we've tried several paths before. Trust me, we have invested a lot into marketing, but we haven't seen anything show really good results. So that's so we're trying to tackle it in new ways all the time. So yeah. At the same time, it's a very old game. You guys have to remember that a lot of players, they don't want to play a game that looks like this. So one of the things on the list has been also to attract new players, has been to try to do a bit of a graphics overhaul to the game. But that would be extremely time expensive and stuff as well. And we could use that time to bring you guys better features, better, you know.
Yeah, plus we are constantly reaching out to them, but like the main issue is, yeah, this is a very complicated, and you really need to look into it. It's not simply saying, like, let's take a random example, but just approaching Dakotas and saying, hey, here's €1,000, stream the game for a month. That's not gonna add anything in the end of the day, to be honest. And I can assure you that. There are different ways we can do, like incentive systems and stuff like that. Those would um, really be more, let's say, more profitable for everyone. We would have more players around. All right, this guy Wilson is asking to bring the game to Xbox. There are many problems with that. I'll let Fred jump into technical. reasons why that's not possible because there are many of them. But let's just
There,
put it.
I could sit here and list them for about an hour, but basically it's the engine. One of the things we could do in the future, and I think it would take a lot of work, but what would be possible would be to try to port the game over to a different engine, Unreal 4. And for instance, if that were the case, we could push the game to PS5, Xbox, you name it, like every single platform, even mobile. I mean, so that would definitely bring a huge amount of players if the game was available for mobile, for example, as well. Uh,
Yeah. All right.
yeah.
And also you have to look into like it's a game from an extremely old engine. You know, from the time they had Xbox. Was it 360 still back in the day? I think
No
so.
idea, but I don't even think this engine doesn't run on
Yeah,
anything
yeah,
else
it
than.
won't run. It would need to be. And if we're doing that, I would rather just spend that time and effort and, everything on just bringing this game to a completely new engine that looks more modern and feels the same way, which would be pretty much the same. Uh, Technically, it would be the same amount of work that we would have to do, right? To export it to Unreal 4 or to export it to a way that you can release it on Xbox. It would be much
It
better
would.
for everyone. Plus,
Yeah.
there are the small things, the quality of life things that would affect this greatly, which is how the whole game system works, the amount of keys you have, the amount of things you can do, like open your inventory, control, move things around, move things fast. You have a very limited amount of buttons on a controller, on a yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but that's the least of your worries. You can always figure out how to get those controls. But the biggest point is, uh, it would be the engine basically.
All right. The meme Reaper said community related. Do you think there will ever be a way to make newer players understand that the official arcade servers aren't necessarily safe for them to farm in? I keep running into crybabies, and it kills the fun of the Bambi hunt when you feel guilty all the time. Okay, I'm just gonna stop right there because you just justified their crying, like you said. You're just killing them because you think it's fun of hunting Bambis. Okay, this is like you said, it's community related. They do have the opportunity of farming in a PVE server when they start their accounts. They can do that, but that all, like you said, stems from the community. If you don't let them play, if you don't let them learn, if you're just gonna kill them because it's fun to hunt the Bambis, that's what's gonna happen. You're actually mad. Like, you're not mad. I doubt you're mad, but you're actually complaining that they make you feel guilty because they're farming and you kill them while they don't even have a proper weapon on their hands, and you're pretty much blaming them for you killing them.
I, s- I wanted to point out, I saw a lot of people talk about how the loot doesn't have value, Newsy. Well, here's the thing. Like, I don't understand. I keep reading this everywhere. I don't understand where this comes from because if you want the game mode where the loot actually means something, there's an economy, you should go play survival. See, why don't people play survival if they want rare loot? That's what I don't understand. They complain about the loot, yet they play open world. I mean, arcade. It's been renamed to. You know, where does that? Like, can someone explain to me why people don't play survival? And that's a question I'm giving you guys instead.
Yeah. All right, Flows asks, what's the ETA on the new deathmatch system game mode? We don't have an ETA because
um,
me and Fred laid
well,
out the idea.
the idea would be that I think we're gonna push a patch very soon for Valentine's. Okay, and I doubt it's going to be ready for that, but it could be. And in the worst case, it will be on the patch after that. If yeah,
All right, let's see. Kaboom asked, I've been playing this game since 4 years, and I do know NA players are dead right now. There's only a couple left. So I'm wondering, is there a chance to at least help those NA players left in games, such as reducing ping and increase FPS. All right. How we can't reduce ping? Do you know if you understand how ping works? Ping is pretty much the distance, the time
No, but
response
this
because of the
is
distance.
the
We
thing
can't.
about
No, they want us to reduce the ping
yeah,
to
yeah, I
European
know, but
servers.
that's the thing about ping is that it's the time it takes for the connection between your house and the server. And unless we move the server closer to you, then you're not gonna have better ping, right? So how we cannot just change the ping.
Sorry.
And if we move the server closer to you and put it in your region, then all of a sudden it wouldn't be in that region. Do you see where I'm going with this?
About ping, just delete the net code. Yeah, people know what they're talking about, right, Fred? They just want you to remove the net code so they can play with higher ping. No, that's not how it works, Fister. Because then
Okay,
people with
I
higher
think
ping are
he's
just gonna have an advantage.
no, I think he's talking about the high precision netcode.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I mean. And what that's doing right now is making it better for players with lower ping in game. You know.
Yeah,
So
it
if you
makes it more
remove,
fair.
yeah,
Otherwise, if
the
someone
higher
is
you.
playing, what you guys don't understand is that if you're playing with like 200 plus ms, when you peak someone, you have an advantage over them. You see, and that's the biggest problem with So
All right.
that's why, yeah.
I took note because this guy already asked this question 4 times and it was just lining up, and we couldn't answer because we were answering other questions.
Yeah.
He just, well, this is more of a suggestion, so it should go on Discord on the feedback suggestion. But he said remove some houses from Rocky Fort, close them up, make it real small PvP maps, remove hospital. Like we said, our plan is to pretty much not stop development on PvP servers, but change the way we look at them. Just officially make them deathmatch servers, okay? And yeah, maybe we can make those changes to the PvP maps, to the maps that are going to be used there in a fun way. And don't say that adding an old server or old map is just going to pop, because we've tried this multiple times. People kept saying that about Cliffside. We put up Cliffside and people don't even play on it. All right, let's keep going. I'm sorry I had to scroll up to look at that question. Um, I've been playing since August 2015. The biggest problem I see today is the abuse of VSS players. In my opinion, this weapon should be banned from the game. The VSS has a lot of disadvantages. The thing is, like you said, since 2015, so people have had time to learn how to use that gun properly, but it has a lot of disadvantages. The bullet drop is much higher. It's got the worst DK of all the snipers. Yeah, it's silenced, it's fast, but from a distance, it's hard to hit it, or hard to hit enemies in general. And guns are like that. Guns have their advantages and disadvantages. And like in any game, there's something called meta. Okay, there's always a meta that is something that everyone co- uh, concurs that is the best way to play the game at that point, with that patch, with those stats. And yeah, VSS has always been something like that because it's silenced. But besides it being silenced, there's no advantage to the VSS. It's a bit faster than the others, yeah, but so's the SVD. Can you bring back old Kellywood, since sometimes when you play on arcade mode and want to PvP, you spawn 10 minutes running from a bus stop? Well, like I said, those things, guys, this is questions and answers, okay? We have a Discord. Silent's gonna post a Discord channel here, or a server here, and suggestions and feedback like that is better put there, because this is not the Q&A is not a place for us to make a proper decision. It's just to discuss with you guys ideas we have, ideas we're talking about, plans we have, and answer your general questions, okay?
I would like to address Dryler. He says that so many players quit the game because of the other people playing with high ping. Asians and Brazilians on EU servers, for example. Yeah. And the thing we did about that is we added the high accuracy netcode. But then it does. If we fix the issue, if we fix the advantage that people with high ping have, then those servers never get popped because the people want to play with the high ping. That's the thing. So it doesn't matter whether we fix the issue or if we ping limit it or it doesn't matter what we've tried. That just doesn't it doesn't work like you say. You know.
All right. Defaults are not going to discuss anything anti-cheat system side. Anything that's controlled by the anti-cheat system, we're not going to review. Otherwise, we're just going to give people a way to abuse these things. Yeah. You added that 3 years ago. Way too late. The problem should have been fixed when the game actually had a big player base. Well, I mean, we're trying. It's just pretty much Fred developing the game when it comes to coding. So yeah, things take much longer for us to do than you guys always try to compare us to AAA games when it comes to development. And they say, yeah, but when League of Legends has a problem, they fix it in an hour. Yeah, but League of Legends has
They probably
25
have like
coders in each region to fix issues.
I'm betting higher than that, but yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah.
I saw Sven was in the chat. What's up, dude?
Who?
Sven was in the chat.
Oh, I didn't see that. I missed it. Sorry. Hey. Alright, keep the questions coming, guys. If I missed your question, please repost it. Otherwise, it's just gonna be a scroll fest. So just keep posting. Not sure why.
Are there any more questions posted on our social media while we wait for some new ones?
No, not really. I already targeted them early on. Just so you guys know, we've opened the applications. I'll announce it on Discord, but you can find the Super Cup 2021 applications on the forums already.
ETM, the new deathmatch mode, 1 to 2 patches, Genetics.
Yeah.
Basically.
We just need to work out the details, start the first. Fred needs to make the first version of it. We check it, we see how it goes. Guys, questions in English.
Thanks, Babex.
I have a question about Battle Royale. I want to leave it in chat, but it does not allow me. Can I send? No, all the questions need to be sent in chat.
Wait, why can't you post a question in the chat?
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
What do you mean, Bolkvad, for they respond quickly to clan territory?
Yeah, he's just repeating that. I really, literally don't understand what he's saying.
No,
I don't want to sound like an asshole, like, oh.
Yeah, no, I just feel I can't understand what he's asking. I think he could be using Google Translate or something. Color grading mode change. What do you mean that? Defaults. Or defaults. Sorry.
Feature where you can set skins while your items are on your GI. Fred, I told you about this. That is
skinning items in the I mean that's easy to do.
So if you can do that, can you try to make it stackable? Everything like automatically. That wouldn't work, right? But at least the skinning part would work.
I mean, stacking could be done. The only thing that can't be done in the inventory is as follows. When you have rearranging them. So being able to put like your M4s behind your, I don't know, your M107s, for example, that would be extremely hard to do because it's the inventory of every player is extremely huge. We're talking gigabytes of data, many gigabytes. So the less info we store about that, the better, and the faster the system will work. Otherwise, inventory will get slowed down a lot.
All right, so often
There's a
people.
huge population of
Oh,
players
go
in
ahead.
Thailand, and we don't try everything. Yeah, I don't understand. Maybe the game doesn't work well in Thailand, but I'll definitely look into it. The
Um,
Yoxixi.
can I be honest?
Uh, yeah.
Why there aren't that many Thai players in New Z? We have two normal skins. If you
How does
look
that work?
at their releases, that Electronics Extreme releases their games, they always have these crazy skins. You know, they always have these. Like I saw one of the versions they had. I think it was Fantasy. They had an automatic M107. You know, and I think it's just the market that is out there is different from what we're trying to bring and present to European and North American and South American players right now. I mean, they might be interesting or they might be interested in the game, but they need that little extra. Honestly, since you were talking about porting the game to Unreal 4, launch on PC, mobile consoles, and whatever is there, this is the most dope idea. Yeah, Joe, what we're saying is that the easiest way to do everything would be to port it to Unreal
Yeah.
Engine 4 before even thinking or considering bringing it to another platform. Because, yeah, but the problem is it's time consuming, financially consuming, it's not easy to do it, and with the constant updates we have on UZ right now, with our small group of developers, it is really hard. It is something we can do, but it's going to take much longer than usual because games get. Think about it. You see games that are developed take 3 years to be developed and released with a complete full team of developers, and this isn't even our
I
case.
mean, if we what I the logical step to porting New Z to Unreal 4 would be essentially starting with the maps. So generating a program that can understand the way our engine saves the maps and everything, and port that over to Unreal 4 automatically, and then at least you've got the levels. But then you've got to take care of the UI, the mechanics, and everything along. It is gonna take at least, I would say, 1 to 2 years. Um, yeah,
All right. On the fire asked, do we have a plan of making it similar to War Inc.? Yes, that we just talked about this. We're bringing up a new mode that is going to replace warm-up PvP and competitive altogether. That is going to be pretty much like War Inc. You're going to have different mini game modes that you can play there. Banana Joe said, I'd rather have less features in development on New Z and know that in a year or two the game is on a new engine, console, mobile, blah, blah, blah. I'm pretty sure there would be people who can volunteer for such project. I really doubt that developers would, coders would, because this is a very competitive market. And yeah, there's that issue. But the problem is if we don't keep developing, we can't fund this new project either. We still need to pay people.
basically.
Yeah, Sven pointed out,
That's
why
that.
port over?
Yeah,
Why not just recreate? And that would be the idea, Sven. That would be not on Unreal 5 exactly, since it's not even fully released, but we can
it
do it
would be
on
Unreal
Unreal
4,
4
and
and
then
then
but
port it
the
to
good news,
5 at
yeah,
release.
the good news about Unreal 4 is that it has easy upgrade to Unreal 5 whenever Unreal 5 comes out.
Yeah.
Unlike Unreal 3 to Unreal 4, that was a pain to work with.
Yes, Joe. Okay, if we do it on a new engine, the cost from Sergey, we're not going to discuss that part, but the problem is during development, we need funding.
Yeah, that would be the biggest challenge.
They should change the battle royale modes like other games where That the save area is reduced in a random place because it's so boring. After 2 minutes, everyone knows where the game will end, except the 5 groups after radiation
I
release. It
mean,
goes,
yeah,
yeah,
we could randomize it or add like basically literally like 100 different ones, you know,
yeah.
and you
Just
can just
make,
pick a random.
just try to
Just
make
add
it
like
like it
a
is in the only battle royale game that I play, which is Call of Duty Warzone. That is just when it's closed in that area, the next one is inside that area, but not necessarily in the middle. I think that's what he is talking about. You know what I mean, Fred?
yeah. You mean that the once the save zone like starts shrinking, it starts like moving about
No,
randomly
no, no.
within
It's
that.
just okay. So you have the new safe zone. Okay, it's a circle, right?
Yeah, and then the
The
circle
next
within the next circle is not gonna
random.
be on the center. It's gonna be
Yeah,
like randomly.
random. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You could try. I mean, we can try something like that. Why not? But let's see. Let's be honest. This game's a nostalgic game to play. It is very difficult to get new players attached to this game. So let's focus on bringing our War ZISS players back. That's a point that I pretty much agree almost 100%
Yeah,
with Dario. There are still, of course, people who haven't touched the game at all that would like the game. But in general, you are right. I have a suggestion. Offer something to all the old players that have a medium viewer base, like Ibiza, Isa. They would be perfect to target because they truly miss and love this game and wouldn't be too expensive. I mean, that would be a strategy that we could roll out to people responsible for that, Fed. We could think about something if they would be interested. Why not?
yeah. I like to answer the Darioxixi question. Also, what are your thoughts on all different game modes? We have a small community at the moment. The different game modes divide us. The thing about that is that people who play a game mode more than other people who like, there's people who only play battle royale and there's people who only play survival. If we remove those two and combine them, for example, into one, then instead of having people are not just going to be forced to play something, they're just going to play whatever they like or they won't play at all. So we cannot just like combine those two game modes.
Yeah, that's a very important point that people always say. Yeah, you should. I mean, I see people saying get rid of survive, and I see people saying get rid of arcade. And we will lose a lot of players if we get rid of part of it. Period. Not everyone's
Yeah,
just gonna accept it. I mean, the gaming market nowadays is extremely expensive. There's too many games, and people will find something that fits their needs better. The idea is to make every game mode strong in their own rights. I think that would be the ideal way of doing it. Added overgrowth to open world. I mean, we could do that. To do this. So often, we already. All right, listen to this one, Fred. So often, people are behind shield, wall, or wall after shot, and they still die like they weren't hidden at all. It feels like server side laggy, even when you're 40, 50 ms. Even playing
yeah,
with
okay,
low
but
ping
that
versus
that
no ping.
that will not happen on high precision netcode servers. If you look at the server list, there's an icon on some servers that have the high precision netcode. Those servers have different netcode that I built specifically for things like this, so they wouldn't happen. Um, so yeah,
All right, Chile or Clay 8 EK said you're switching from PvP servers to deathmatch, and what's gonna happen? Will our reputation continue to grow? Rank is grow too or not? And when are you going to introduce it? All right, let me start with some basic questions from there. Like Fred said, 2 or 3 patches we can introduce this, at least a beta version. We're gonna do the alpha before. And with the reputation and rank, the idea is to have it somewhere separate. Okay, even if it's the same reputation system, but on the leaderboards and stuff like that, they should be different. Yes, because they're completely different game styles. Why thinking about new content on a small community? The content that we create is just quality of life things nowadays. We're not making huge things. We're just like with this new feature with the deathmatch, we're just taking game modes we have already and simplifying it. So we're actually doing the opposite of what you're saying. We're not releasing new content. We're removing old content. Fredaikis and Silent, with all due respect, but why they don't put new things and you can get skins? I love it. I just read a guy saying we shouldn't be adding new things, and the next question is why don't you add more new things? You know, this is the issue with communities in general. You know, one person literally wants the opposite than the other.
Uh, Kid asked, will the netcode feature be applied to all servers? I only know if on few ones of it. I mean, the netcode feature actually started as a test. We were trying to test out the system before we roll it out, but I mean, if players think that it works fine and they don't have any issues playing with the high precision netcode, then we can, I guess, turn that on servers. We can do that right now. It's live. It will be enabled within minutes in every single server if we would want to. So we can do that for sure. Absolutely.
Public servers should be way more buffed to all the servers. No, wait, I missed. Than private servers. Private servers kill the game, in my opinion. Dario, all right, let me just put this simple because I had this discussion on Discord before. Let me just put it simple for you, okay? Yeah, I agree that public servers should have better loot than private servers, period. Okay, that's a fact. I don't think anyone in their right mind would completely disagree with you on that. But saying private servers kill the game, in your opinion, is just silly. You know why? I could look up your account right now and see where you got all your loot from. And I can bet it's either from private servers or trades. And if it's from trades, it's from people who are in private servers. Private servers make the economy of the game run. It's not the PvP. The private servers are important. The players are the ones who are selling the gear for you guys to be
Yeah,
able to PvP 24/7.
they're the backbone of the economy.
Yeah. So if they're not working, if they're not farming, there's no loot for people that are completely focused on PvP. I ask a question in
Okay,
Q&A. Will you add an
I
auction house where you can bid on items? Auction house, I don't think we will, but we already have the flea market, which is kind of similar, but there's no bids. It's just that people offer an item for a price, you either buy it or not. I really don't understand this attempt at trolling me, telling me to go to school. But yeah, my guess is that you put reload events so the game will benefit us, the players. I don't understand what you're saying, Winter. I don't understand why you don't mix arcade and survival, but PvP service and competitive. No, it's not the same thing, Freddy. Uh, Arcade and survival are completely different game modes. PvP and competitive are extremely similar game modes. Okay,
I
it's the
mean
same thing.
it's yeah.
And
Or
survival people who go to survival usually don't want to play like an arcade, and people who play in arcade don't like the play style of survival. For example, I know you personally. If it were up to you, you would just go to survival, right? Make everyone go to survival. And then what if I told you tomorrow, hey Freddy, we're getting rid of survival. Are you gonna go to arcade or are you gonna quit the game? Yeah, very silly to say that private servers kill the game, I think. Yes, you are right. Very silly.
why don't we add save zone in Kellywood? That's a good question.
Oh yeah, that's true. Why don't we? I mean, that's not something complicated. Something we can simplify and make it sure. All right. Great center. All right. Another feature I'm seeing from feedback suggestions on Discord. That's why I'm reading on 3 different places. Okay, feedback and questions. Make it so you can choose or change your crosshair in game without needing to go through a file. Blah blah blah. Do you think that would be possible?
Can you repeat that? Sorry, I was reading the questions.
Yeah. Do you think it would be possible to make it so you can change your custom crosshair in game?
Oh, that's the question I was reading. Okay. No, yeah, absolutely. I can get it done for the next patch if you want.
Yeah.
Let me check.
We can just set up a
I'll
package
write that
that would be
down.
basic ones, you know, and then
Yeah,
people can upload their own.
and then we make like select custom, and then you can just choose any file. You know,
Yeah.
like open, and then choose. You can choose any like yeah image file.
Yeah. Right.
Um,
Is there any way for big clans to gain clan skins, even if it means to pay? No. Clan skins can only be acquired in extremely special events, yearly events usually, like cups and stuff like that. It doesn't matter if they're big or small, okay? It's not about the size. We don't. When it comes to this kind of feature, that's not the point because add more interesting thing places on the map. Pumpkin, that's more of a suggestion than a question. So yeah, we read it, okay, but there's nothing for us to answer. You're just making a good suggestion, but a suggestion nonetheless. I think you do a great job. We do a great job. GRATE. Okay, so we're making cheats, and you do your best to make this gun for us. All myself, thanks. Yeah, that's our goal. But people only look at the negatives. We make 10 changes. 9 of them are great. One is bad. People focus on the bad. But that's just how this kind of thing is. It's just life. We've learned to cope with it. Kelly safe zone and crosshair created in game. Yeah, that's my point, Jonas. Nothing like that is gonna bring players back or the community back. That's what you have to realize. There are changes we make that we call quality of life changes, which are things that are just improving the game overall for everyone. Even for people who eventually come back, they're gonna like it better that way. And that's not the goal. We can't just focus on making on making changes like that. And yeah. So the idea is, of course, we need to bring players back. But the problem is, new players join. What do you guys do? You just kill them on site every time. Some things are on our side, but some things are on your side as well. Bring back Colorado V1 on the official. It's just this one guy spamming it like crazy. We removed it because it was the least popular server from the list, so we decided to remove one of the maps. That was the one we removed since it was less popular. Yeah, the biggest point is to get player numbers. But
that's our. I would say that's our biggest goal right now is to increase the player base. We did release under the Infestation official page. And that actually brought a lot of players. It doubled our player base for a solid month. But the problem is, a lot of people are still into this hate the old game, and no matter what we do, we get hate for it. So
yeah, people are saying wipe arcade when they just play survival. This is a very hopeful way of people thinking. People say, okay, wipe arcade. Like a survival player says, wipe arcade, because they're extremely hopeful. They're hoping that people that are wiped on arcade are just going to jump into survival, and that's not going to happen. They're just going to jump ships. They're just going to leave the game. Period. Legends Winter as Fredaikis and Chupacabra. With all due respect, and have my comment taken as a friend. Would you like them to put in new events and to create the service to be a little economical? Because not all of them are with the high economy. And that there's events to reload with that. I mean, something you have to recharge to move this item. I really completely do not understand anything he said. I'm sorry. Winter, can you also put price limit on the bag because it's
I
price limit?
think he's trying to say that I don't know. Actually, never mind. I don't know.
Wait, what's the difference between our Caliwood and the old Caliwood right now? I can't really think of a difference. I mean, we have West Oaks and San Pavel back, right? Jonas, better use your and Fred's time in using the time to get some idea. But that's not how a company works, you know? The lead developer is not going to stop developing anything or coding or doing his part of the job to do something else. That's not how it works. If your job is to develop, you're going to develop.
All right. I mean,
Uh,
I might be the founder, but I don't really make the decisions.
yeah,
You know, the
you actually delegated everything intentionally.
yeah, I gave away most of that because I cannot be you know, a project manager and at the same time develop full time. Project management takes up too much of my time and nothing gets done. Um, so yeah.
Adding on one a map. So yeah, people are just saying making a mix of maps. That's actually not a horrible idea. It's just a very confusing and a huge workload. But just taking like all the battle royale, take all the battle royale maps, you know, and just take small regions from each and place it into a huge one, like a Megazord kind of thing, you know. I mean, it is interesting. If I buy GC, a small package costs me 3 days' wages, but somebody from US, oh, I think what he's saying is, oh, well, I mean, that's everything. You guys have to realize something, you know, since we are a small company, we have all our costs fixed, you know, and if we lower the prices according to region, then we would be paying for you guys to play. And that just can't happen. I'm sorry. In the end of the, our focus is to bring the game to a good point where people want to play it all the time, but we can't just throw money out the window. All our costs are in euros, so all the prices are in euros. Games that are able to do this, and if you look around, you'll see, are AAA games, which are huge and they have offices everywhere. Problem with
Another
the
in,
new Hollywood is. Oh, go ahead, Fred. Sorry.
I was just gonna say another thing about it is that believe it or not, servers in the areas where people make less money are actually more expensive than servers in areas where people make more money. I know it's crazy.
Yeah, it is weird. Like the Brazilian servers, we know because it took us a long time to find something
Yeah,
decent.
definitely.
It was hard enough to find something that would be able to run our game, but it was even harder for us to find good pricing that we would, and we couldn't even find a good pricing that would be good enough for private servers, for example. Remove private servers, consolidate. No, removing private servers is not going to happen. Combine arcade with PvP, PvP is gone. Yeah, so remove private servers is not an option. It makes no sense because, yeah, it just doesn't make sense. Also helps. Why you guys don't give the community the opportunity to make the skins? But we did do that, Tetsu. We actually did that, and we had several issues with copyrights. You
Yeah.
know, and we can't trust that. People just copy stuff from other places, and it's not as simple. Oh, if it's on the internet, it's free. That's not how life works. That's not how copyrights work. We're a company. No, we can't. We're not a little emulator that can just have a Naruto on on a skin randomly. You know, like have a Dragon Ball hair helmet. Yeah, Calypso put it well. If you anything that we remove like that is just gonna make some people leave. And
Yeah.
we know a lot of people who are PVE servers. If there's no private servers, they won't play. Is there any updates regarding increasing FPS? If you put a question like that, you clearly don't know what you're talking about. because there isn't like a magical button. Hey Fred, can you activate that function that increases
Yeah,
FPS?
give
All right,
me two
thanks.
seconds. FPS
Problem solved.
double
Kaboom.
enter. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's live, boys.
Uh, Cly ATK, we're talking about the game that needs new player. Maybe create something just for them, kind of a new, be it a PVE server. Cly 8EK, we already have that. You don't know about it because you're not a new player. But new players have a private, or not a private, but they have a PVE service to start, and they
Yeah,
can,
new
and only
players
they
have.
can join it.
You know, we focused a lot during the past, I think, 2 years. We focused a lot on improving the beginner experience of this game. You know, for the yeah, and beginner servers is one of them. They have PVE servers that they can, you know, learn to farm on. They have tutorials. They have a bunch of new stuff that you guys may have not have noticed.
Yeah, yeah. We did do a lot
Um,
of work in that direction
yeah,
back in the day, but since you guys are veterans, you don't even see it.
yeah. Andy nearly posted a question. Players come back when no longer have when they haven't played against the lagging. So a ping limit of 100 should be set on the user. We
Which
have a feature that we have only used in some servers, Andy, that changes the way the netcode works to stop high pingers from being an issue. Now, I have enabled these right now, literally like 5 minutes ago. I have enabled these on the Europe PvP servers. Okay, so you guys can go try that out, and if you guys like it, and you know, it doesn't cause a lot of issues, it doesn't cause any issues. Basically, we can actually move on to enabling this basically on a lot of servers across regions. That way, people join those servers, they won't get, you know, killed by laggers or anything like that.
I don't know my stuff. I will never tell how to do stuff. I just ask since I know from Gene that he can make skins. He's talking to Silent about making skins, and I mean we've received skins from the community, but having it open for everyone to make them, that's not gonna work. Why? Because we need sets, we need people, we need to evaluate. If we don't think that skin fits or we don't want to release it, people are just gonna get mad. So yeah, having people collaborating with us, that's fine. Like we have the foes, maybe genetics can do that as well. That's not an issue. The problem would be just forcing these things to do, you know, or just okay, everyone can do it now. So no, that's not gonna work. Please allow to change it and add the skins. Yeah. So the guy's asking again. Also change the skins in the GI. I don't know if changing would be possible.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Maybe
I can definitely try to get that down for next. But it shouldn't be hard. We already have a system in place for it. It's just kind of like not there. Should be easy.
this guy said maybe balance the game so we don't get quick scoped every second. All right, so let's look at the. I'm gonna sit just like Fred, by the way. Let's
It's
look at your
comfortable.
question in a very technical way, right? You can't say something is unbalanced if you can do it yourself. So if someone quick scopes you in 2 seconds, that means you can actually quick scope them in 2 seconds. That means it's balanced. Okay? And if you don't do it, then it's not about balancing. It's just about adaptation. You got to learn. And I'm not saying you're bad or anything, but it's just a habit. People who quick scope do it a lot. That's how you get good at it. Nothing in this game is, well, some small things in this game are obviously like skill in a more talented way basis, but most of the things you can actually learn and improve in yourself just by practicing. It's that simple. There aren't that many things that will make a player better. Of course, reflexes and things like that are necessary in any shooter, but besides that, everything like quick scoping, placing shields, it all comes with practice. Please, what about the macros? I see people hitting 3 headshots in survival with single bullet all the time. That's literally not possible. Weren't you the guy complaining about ping earlier? That just doesn't
No, but
happen,
a
and
couple. I
a
think a lot of
fallacy. That's a
players.
fallacy with. I just had a discussion on the Steam forums as well. That the guy said that people are using macros because they jump around and place the shield directly at them. So pretty much saying that the macro is doing that, and that's not how it works. Macros don't make guns shoot faster than they shoot. Macros
No,
don't
there
make you
was
turn and position you on the right direction. That just doesn't happen.
also one thing that regarding macros, a couple of patches back, we changed a fundamental mechanic within the weapon system, both on the client and the server, that caused this what you call rapid fire macros, which didn't really it didn't shoot faster, but it was actually possible back a couple months ago to be able to use a macro to shoot almost at the same speed as full auto with a lot less spread. But that's been corrected ever since with the overhaul of the system. So if you haven't played in ages and you stopped playing because of that, then it's a lot better now. Trust me. Like macroing right now, macroing in New Z, aside from healing a little faster than you can just do by using your hands, you know, it's not
Yeah, it
gonna.
just makes it easier. We even had a thought. Silent and I talked a little bit about this, but I thought of making them like food, making meds like food. You have the choice of toggling it, and instead of clicking twice on the med, you just press it once, and then you use it.
Also, some people are saying that. Sorry, a guy wrote that when you kill someone, they spawn too fast and they come and kill you. Problem is, if we increase the timer it takes for you to respawn, it's going to be faster to log out of the server and then log back in. Now, what we could do though is we could increase the distance for the next spawn. So when you try to spawn nearby, it spawns you a little bit further away. But a lot of players aren't going to like that change, even though it could fix, the issue.
Yeah, and we've tried many different approaches to fixing that. One was making people, because we have these complaints all the time still. We have people complaining that you spawn right where you died, and people complaining that you die in Clearview and spawn in Smallville. And those things are just because of the system. We try to find a suitable way for people to respawn. So the idea, ideally, I'd say, would be for players to spawn on the closest spawn, but the closest spawn is usually occupied, so you move to the next one, and then it could happen that you're too far. And the way the spawn system, the complete spawn system works, it's kind of hard staying away from that in general. MMC, is spawn random? If not, can you make that? Uh, we could make it map based. Like
I
you're
mean,
playing in Rocky Ford and then you randomly spawn in NORAD. I mean, you can do that actually with a quick respawn function. You can just choose random spawn.
yeah, yeah. But the reason the spawn system works, it tries to be smart about it. For example, if you just died in an area where there's a lot of heat, it's not going to spawn you back in there, because otherwise you're just going to get killed again, because there's like maybe 5 guys around that spawn, you see? It's going to pick a spawn that's somehow relatively close, not at the other side of the map, but it's still going to pick a spawn that's,
Yeah,
that's safe for you to spawn in,
look at
basically.
what Sanak just said. Spawns are bad. When you die once, you spawn sometimes so far away. And the other guy just complained that spawns are bad because when you die, you spawn right where you were. Do you see the problem here, guys? The conflict of information? We already talked about new engine, and that is a desire we have, but not yet a project. No, spawning next to your teammates would be too OP.
Yeah, that would be extremely OP. I mean, you would, yeah. I mean, we could, nah, no, and no, it wouldn't work.
Wait, this guy, no. Um, just ignore that one. Um, I mean, you already have the flags that you that you can spawn at clan territories, which is already a good project. No, we like. Are you guys even listening to me? Guys, we don't have an exact. We're not making a new game. We do have the desire of working on something that like that in the future. In I don't know when, but that is something we have the desire to do. That doesn't mean we are doing it right now or we will start in the next month or weeks. We don't know. That is something we would like to do. Okay, I think
Breeder
I put
posted a
in
funny
very
message.
simple words now. Listen, I'm cutting goat, and I'm cutting horse, so we need new players. Yeah, I feel the same way, Dryler. Like, when you get older, you lose your reflexes.
Zonta wrote that there are serious optimization errors in the game. I mean, you have FPS drops. Like I have no issues with FPS drops, and when I look at statistics, people have fairly good FPS in the game.
Yeah.
I can check what the average is, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty high. The average peak FPS people have is 121. That's pretty good for a game when the average is 121. And considering most of our player base have mid to lower end computers.
If you have a lot of FPS drops in any game with your setup, iLath, it's not game related. Trust me.
I mean, if you do have
10th
FPS drops,
generation
just
i5 with a 1080, that's not game related at all.
I mean the 1080 Ti with the i5 should
10th
easily be
generation
able to
i5.
pull. Yeah,
FPS
yeah. For
drop has
example,
nothing to do with servers. Hello, Zerk.
no.
Hello.
Even the server lags, your FPS are going to be completely normal, untouched, even if the server would lag. Um, but basically, if you have FPS drop, man, just make sure a couple things. Make sure you don't have something in like a Bitcoin miner or something in the background, and make sure that if you're playing on a laptop, you have it on high power settings. Even on a desktop computer. Make sure you're not thermal throttling. There's a lot of things that could affect your performance in any game, and sometimes some games more than others.
Yeah,
For
especially
example,
with laptops because temperature,
yeah,
like you said, thermal drops. It's a huge issue with laptops, and people don't
yeah.
realize that gaming laptops are not for like 10 hours of gameplay.
Yeah. And if you do happen to have FPS drops or any kind of issues, just send a support ticket, and maybe I can help you look into it via AnyDesk or TeamViewer or something like that, and then try to find what it is. Or I mean, I'm sure any of this in the support team can help you with that. It's
Yeah,
often
it can
just
be 10,000 different things. Just a setting that
yeah,
is just
exactly.
bad for you in that situation.
Some people who have laptops, for example, they have Newsy running on their CPU graphics card. Because, for example, if you have an Intel laptop, you can have for example, I don't know, for example, my laptop has a 1050 Ti, but it's a GTX 1050 Ti. But it also has a GPU built into the CPU called the Intel HD graphics. And if I have the wrong settings, it's going to launch my game on the HD graphics and not on the NVIDIA. So you got to make sure that all those settings, for example, are correct.
Yep.
If you do happen to have a laptop, but there's also a million things. You could have a bunch of malware on your computer. A clean Windows reinstall usually solves everything if you're having a lot of issues. So try that.
I've got a load of new English players joining every week, most from the old bio team that should boost the players. Yorkshire might. That's great. That's the idea. This games like ours, more nostalgic, older games that are just classic games. I know I'm forcing a little bit, saying that this is a classic game, but this game has a lot of meaning to a lot of people, and that's the perfect way to. Oh, Fred's gone. No,
No, I'm
I
just
know.
1 sec.
That's the best way for us to bring players back. You know, instead of like trash talking the game, trash talking on stream, which we've had a lot of people doing recently, especially. Um, is just being more positive, because if you are playing the game and you're trash talking the game, there's something seriously wrong there. You have to come to that conclusion. Because if you're playing the game constantly, it means you like the game. And if you like the game, it means you shouldn't be trash talking. And or vice versa. If you're trash talking the game, you shouldn't be playing the game that much. You know? Bring back the Rocky Ford warm up server. This is a question and answer. Feedback goes on Discord. Can you change that you can stack cars in the GI? The issue with the car stacking in the GI, Lord, is because of their fuel and their durability. And though sometimes it shows you that the car has 80 durability and 80 fuel, 80% of each, and the other as well, there is a little difference because they're decimal. They're
Yeah, it
decimals
could
as
be
well.
like 80.05%. So, unless they're basically completely 100%, we cannot make them stackable.
Oh, what the fuck is proxy saying? So can tie people by, first of all, that's an extremely, just isolating a group of people, especially by country or race, is extremely prejudice. Okay? So you're just starting off horribly with your question.
Let let me
And
put that. Let me answer that question in a simple way. No, it's not possible.
yeah, I mean, we can't be cocky to say, yeah, it's impossible to cheat in a
No, I
Z.
didn't mean it like that. I mean like no, that it's you cannot. You know, there's
But
no way we're selling cheats to anybody. That would be like shooting myself in the foot. Why
yeah,
would I
that
do
would be
that?
just stupid. People who think
Exactly.
that really, really, really don't understand anything
You'd
about
be
anything.
surprised. You'd be surprised the amount of times I actually get emails through our website on the contact form, where it says contact us. Fred, I pay for the cheat. I don't know, they type it like in a really bad English as well. And they're like trying to buy a cheat
Okay,
off
I'm
me, and I'm
done
like,
with this kid. Hold on.
it's crazy.
It's just making up lies. Again, not the first time he does this. So proxy, yeah, let me just simplify it. The anti-cheat works extremely well, okay? There's no such thing as saying that you can't make a cheat or you can't cheat in a game at all, any game. But our anti-cheat is extremely effective. So if people are cheating, they will
Yeah.
be detected.
And there's no difference between the anti-cheat that you have and the anti-cheat that someone else has. It's the same thing. It works the same for everybody. There's no exceptions. If you're banned, I don't care if you're a partner, if you're a friend, you're staying banned. That's how it works.
Just do code
And
verification.
exactly like you said, we do our best to keep the
All right.
to.
This guy made a suggestion to fix the stacking cars issue. Just do a
Right?
code where you can refill your car, oil and repair, in your GI. I mean,
Yeah, you mean
that
with
would
like
work.
GD or something?
That would work.
Yeah, I mean then I guess we could make cars stackable. Yeah, why not?
Proxy, I'm just reading what you said and I'm responding to what you said. I didn't call you a racist. I said that it's prejudice to just isolate a group of people saying that they're doing something wrong. If you had just said the
Um,
same exact thing and saying, is it possible for players to do blah blah blah, then yeah. But you didn't. You
for,
isolated a group of people.
but it's fine. Let's just draw. I don't think anybody is racist around here.
Yeah.
But look at Freddy D's question. Don't you guys think that people who play mostly on PvP servers and on warm-ups for like 1v1s will quit if you delete the service? I don't think so, because at the same time, there's a lot of event servers that are always open. You can also rent your own if you're into that, and you can use that for PvPing basically.
And the new system will like I said, when you join it, Freddy, when you join the new system, you will also play the same way you play in PvP servers. You're just gonna spawn in with a gun. You're just gonna choose your gun. You're not gonna lose the loot, and then you're gonna kill, die, and revive all the time. The difference is, and then after like let's say I don't know how much, but after 20 minutes, the match ends and you have to rejoin. Or we make it like deathmatch from back in CS 1.6. I don't know if Fred remembers it because he's a young lad, but
I'm. Well,
but in CS
I feel like you're
1.6,
talking to me like if you're my dad or something. Yeah,
the
sorry,
in
continue.
CS 1.6 deathmatch, the matches would never stop. The matches would keep going. People would join in, and the match would never end. It would be just nonstop, just like the PvP servers, and we can create that. The thing is, we by merging this, and then we create the group or the like the all death match, is that you are not necessarily going to join with your friends, and that's the idea. You know, if it's a solo gameplay, it's gonna be much harder for you to join in a bigger group. No, but we can make it have a I don't know, we can make it so there is some kind of item cost proxy. We could adjust to that. Like I said, Fred and I just came up with the idea together by talking. I had the idea, talked to Fred, he came up with some extremely good ideas inside that idea, and we're still gonna work something out. Don't worry.
Oh, he means the GC prices.
Yeah, this guy is talking about I don't know.
I mean, we could release just an idea, nothing written down on paper or anything, but we could release some cheaper skin boxes that are a lot cheaper
If it's
for.
not popped enough, Freddy, we can just revert it. But the thing is,
Yeah,
there's no point in having the three game modes. Okay, so
no,
rather than just removing two of them, we would rather try to combine them. If it doesn't work, we'll just
yeah,
remove two and leave just PvP servers. Period.
yeah. So we're basically creating a mixture of warm up and PvP servers. It will basically be like PvP servers, but you will respawn and you won't lose any items because you don't bring in any items. Like there's gonna be loadouts and you can choose like, oh, I want this loadout, and then we can balance the loadouts a lot because, for example, if you want to play shotgun or sniper or something that's, for example, OP in certain maps, I think it would be cool that different weapons, for example, come with different levels of armor. So, for example, you cannot use
The
if you
sniper and
pick.
heavy, for example.
Yeah, exactly. If you have a sniper, you're gonna be more vulnerable, for example. So I think that would be it would be easy to balance. It would be a really cool um, yeah idea, if you ask me.
All right, let's see if we have more questions. Or you should make AR Colorado servers then again. Without AR servers, well, we've tried this so many times, Freddy. You know that you've been with us since the dawn of days. We've tried having open world AR only servers, and people just didn't seem interested in it. Any chance of adding at least duo or trio group Q and BR? Because other players can play like 4 to 5 players. So it sucks. I mean, sure, we could try something like that. Hello, Tsiki. Competitive servers, I can find match not enough players. That's the idea of merging everything. Roses, we have a few ideas when it comes to that, but yeah.
Also, to answer Azul Tao, you should decrease the accuracy weapons. Jumping headshot with snipers can OP. Well, here's the thing. When you jump and you have a sniper in your head and you actually land the shot, then it's your lucky day because the spread literally increases exponentially while you're,
even if
airborne.
even if you're aiming in, right?
Even if you're aiming in, that bullet is gonna go to China.
And that goes the same way for ARs.
Yeah. And also, Oz the King asked this twice now. It would be nice if you could trio group queue. We did put a queue for duo, but that's the problem. The same problem again. If we had too many queues, it splits the player-based lobbies don't get filled. If we had only a max three team members in BR, then a lot of players who played with 5 players really dislike it. So then again, we're back at the: do we keep one half of the player base happy, or do we keep the other half? And it's an impossible decision.
Let's see. Can we not host servers on server hosters? It's very simple. We have a global GI system. That's it. That's all. That's all you need
Basically,
to know. Because if the server is hosted by you, that means you can do anything and we have no control over what you're doing, which means you could boost your GI quickly in a very unfair way. Okay, games that have
exactly.
private servers, they have individual GIs for each server. Our other game, Nether, is like that as well. When you
I mean,
gather
well,
loot, it's just saved on that specific server.
yeah, we could do that in the future, where we can have, uh, allow people to host their own private servers. That way, they can control the loot, they can control everything they want on their server. But then the GI that you have only works on that server. So you cannot access that server's GI, for example, outside of the server, and everything is like sandboxed. Your character XP and everything will completely be dependent on that server. So then you could have like 2 games basically. One is Newsy official, and then Newsy community servers. And then when you join Newsy community servers, your character and everything else is completely sandboxed in that server. That's something we could do
In the future, for sure.
If that sparks, if you guys think that would be cool to have different servers hosted, so people can choose whatever loot they want on their servers. They can choose to have no shotguns whatsoever. They can choose it to be only snipers. They can choose whatever they want.
Hey Ren, can't you update the game to put it in the Warzy Alpha 2012, 2013 and focus on correcting bugs? No, that's literally impossible. It's either or. Okay, because if we put it back there, we can't just go correcting all the bugs that were fixed in these 9 years by the old team and by us. It just okay. This guy's done. Yeah, so that wouldn't work like that. We've like survival, okay? We've tried to make it as close to the old one. We're bringing some stuff, some small things, like not things that are gonna bring back players, but things that are gonna make those players happier. Let's say. I'm having this bug in BR. All right, this is not support, odds. Please post it on the bug report channel. Can you fix the running animation because it looks weird? I think it looks weird right now because we increased the running speed.
Yeah.
I think that's why. Auto stacking guns in GI. Even if you do it once per patch to not break the DB while the game is offline. You can't stack guns if they don't have the same amount
Bullets.
of bullets.
And clip as well.
Yeah,
You have to have the same amount of bullets and the same click. Then you can actually stack weapons. You can, as long as what you can do is you can either empty your weapons. What we could do, which is a bit of a long shot, is a button where you can stack your GI. And hear me out on this. What it does is it basically then unloads every one of your weapons, into clips, and then stacks all the clips together. That will be possible, if you guys would like that. But it's
yeah, okay.
You're gonna have a 1 moment please window. It's gonna refix your whole inventory, stack everything properly, and that should do the trick.
Yeah, maybe just unload everything, set it back to standard 30s, for example, standard, and then stack it. It would be a lot of pressure.
And that actually, it would be good. Actually, if done properly, it'll actually relieve pressure from the database if people use this feature, because what this is going to do, it's going to decrease the amount of rows in the database, because all your items are going to be stacked into a number quantity. So instead of having like, okay, here's our first row in the database, you have an M4 with this, and then you have another M4 with different stats. Oh, sorry. So obviously they don't stack. But if all your weapons have the same amount of stats, then instead of having like 5 rows for 5 M4s, you can have one row that says I have M4 times 5 in the quantity. So that would be more efficient for the database, and it would make it really easy for you guys to stack. And obviously, it can also unskin all the items in your inventory when so if you have like an M4 that's one skin and M4 that's another one, you can also unskin them all.
That's going to improve so many things. It's going to improve our database. It's going to improve moving items from and to GI for everyone.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a realistic feature that we should definitely do for the next patch. I still need to look at writing such a query, because it would be pretty complicated to write. But if I get it right, and I'll test it, obviously, I'll try to push it for the next update.
Yeah, we can try something. What about snipers in new game mode? Are they limited in the team? Those are the details we're still going to work out, Freddy. We are probably, yes, we're probably going to limit. We're probably going to have the option of just joining, because like you said, you're just going to join a random open lobby. You know, it's not going to join you and team you up like in competitive. Okay, it's going to be more like the Battle Royale system, that you join on the closest, let's say, closest game mode you get. All right, and then we could make like small changes in each, like AR only, sniper only, mixed, and then people can use whatever the hell they want, etc. Banana Joe is literally only a looter on private servers. Can we get him to PvP a little bit more? He's a tuna fart. Hey, Joe, go PvP. There, I did it. Fixed your problem, Dario. How about make Hollywood for survival with a safe zone, like Toad before to add? We've discussed this, Pumpkin, in the early of the reboot of survival. Right now, we don't want to have too many servers, okay? And Oregon was designed for survival. So yeah, in the future, we could be adding Hollywood with a couple of safe zones for sure.
Yeah, I don't see why adding safe zones in Hollywood would be a problem. I don't think that's going to be a problem.
No, we're not going to make a wipe every 3 months because people are a little bit behind. Now nobody's that far behind and the load's balanced, so you can catch up really quickly. M4OA1 Remington 700, hard to find light sniper bullets. Okay, well that's the idea. It's to make it hard. Okay, it is to make it hard to get. Fred, can we play duo in Clearview on stream one day? I have a gear set for you.
Yeah, sure.
Fred needs loot for sure. Fred, go farm a little bit so you can play PvP with Dario. Go, right now.
See you guys.
Oh, wait. You can't. Because, remember, Dario said there shouldn't be private servers.
Oh, yeah, true.
So you can't farm anymore. Huh. Can you try BR solo queue? We did. We had it.
Also, increase the food in Oregon?
Alright, Silent.
Yeah, okay.
Take note of that.
I think that's a valid point.
Yeah, and it's easy fix.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm bringing SMS. He's coming now. Yeah, Kappa. Yeah, cheaters are banned all the time, Grim Joe. But it's not just because you think someone's cheating that they're actually cheating.
No, a lot of people
with all due respect, but if you ask any veteran player, like people who've been playing this game for a while, they will tell you that cheaters are extremely rare in the game, and they will know the difference, and they will know that our anti-cheat is the best that any Infestation game has ever seen, by far.
For sure. At least that's what the feedback says.
You don't even need to go and ask people who are like extremely good at the game, that are veterans and are extremely good at the game. Because of course, they could outplay cheaters eventually. But you can ask old players that are not that great. I'm not gonna cite names, genetics, but you can just ask people who have experience in the game that they can see the difference and they can notice who is a cheater, who's not, and they can assure you that there aren't cheaters or they're
the
barely
thing the thing
cheaters.
about the game as well is that it's existed for, like you said, 9 years, right? Even since before we took it over. And the thing about Infestation is you have people that have been playing this game for almost 10 years straight. I mean, I think there was a guy that had like 20,000 hours or something. It was crazy. That there's some players who have so many hours in this game and they're so good at like the game that it literally looks like they are human aimbot. But you know, it's you, I think that experienced players like Chupa said can tell the difference between a cheater and a yeah.
Can you make no recoil guns? Alright, I'm gonna start timing you out, Aiden, please. Just have a respect. That's a good suggestion. Okay, it's all about snipers, giving a disadvantage to use such powerful weapons. Pretty good. Disabling double jump while carrying a sniper in hand is good. I mean, you can't double jump in arcade. So yeah, you have that.
Grimjo, some players get banned for other reasons than cheating. For example, you can get banned for saying racist stuff in the chat, stuff like
For
that. So
glitching, for
for glitching, for abusing game bugs, for
yeah.
stuff. So yeah,
And I don't know where you say 5 Gen players were banned. How do you know who was banned?
I don't even know
Yeah, I
what
don't even know what
you know.
clan they're talking about.
No, neither do I. But
No,
yeah,
guys, if you think someone's cheating, using any kind of cheats, just report them. Just coming to us with
yeah,
names. We're not gonna isolate players like that. That's not how it works. That's not our job. Our job is not to say, "Hey, Dario's cheating. Let's take a look at him." That's not how it works. It's not 2010 anymore. That to catch a cheater, you gotta spectate him. That's layers of anti-cheat to help us identify and prevent. Of
yeah.
course, like I said,
When you
our
guys when you guys
anti-cheat's
report,
effective. There will be new cheats that might, not cause a permanent ban or an instant ban, but we can look at stuff that will tell us if he's cheating or not. And we're not gonna
yeah,
ban people just because there's a commotion for that
yeah,
person's.
yeah. Like Secret Steve said as well. A lot of the
Uh,
times, it looks like people are cheating because they just happen to lag unintentionally with because of the hyping.
yeah,
But
exactly.
that's why for those of you who haven't heard this, that's why I designed the high accuracy netcode system. So we're gonna try to enable that on some more servers because we haven't really used it. We haven't really used it a lot actually, but we can enable it on some servers, and you guys should see the difference. That high pingers will not have an advantage, at least not to the level that they've had recently.
Yeah. Is there ever going? This one's for you, Fred. Is there ever going to be an implementation of an optional way to change the HUD in UZ? Fred, remember we talked about this?
Yeah, Fruit Loops. Yeah. Here's the thing. I could design an old HUD. I mean, just take the original HUD from War Z, but that HUD is missing a lot of important features. It's missing the kill feed. It's missing the new radar system. It's missing the car UI. It's missing the new missions UI. All these things would have to be reintegrated in that style. And I didn't design the old UI, so I cannot replicate the style. And that way, it would just be a huge nightmare. Although what I could do, if you guys don't mind that, is if you guys really really bad want the old UI that bad, what I can do is I can take the little, you remember the little guy health bar with the food and water on the side, and replace that so you can toggle between the old style and the new style, but keep everything else like the new style, every
Yeah.
new feature.
I already talked to Fred about bringing this, and it is gonna take some time because, like you said, it's gotta be redesigned. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, it is possible. Yes.
It is possible, but like I said, all the features that are new, like all the features that are new, like for example, the kill feed and stuff like that, the radar, the FPS counter at the top, those are not going to be reverted to the old style because there was no old style for them. You see what I mean? Um, yeah.
UI like
So yeah,
fucking.
we could try to skin the current UI or parts of it, like the health and the ammo and the the slots. We could try to skin them to look like or to look basically exactly like the old one and have that be a toggle setting. Um, I personally like the new UI, but yeah, if you guys don't like it, then I guess I'll.
I don't like that old health bar,
No,
but that's just
I
me.
yeah,
But I
it's just
know a
a
lot of people. I
preference.
know most people actually prefer it, but I don't think that's also something that's gonna affect if the person plays or not. Zonta, all the players always play BR mode on Europe servers. No chance to shut down all servers. What would be a common server for you, Zonta? I mean, we could,
Uh,
but
we could put a common server in Europe, but then people are gonna have high ping to it. That's the problem with the world. You can There's not a single place on Earth that has good ping to the whole world.
yeah, we can look into that, Pigeon, about solo or duo mode as well.
Flo Owie said, "Who cares about the GI? How the news is it important?" I agree
Yeah,
with Flo. I don't
that's
think
why
it's
nothing was ever
something.
done with it because it
Yeah,
is.
I agree. But if a lot of players seem to want it, I mean, and it shouldn't take me more than an hour to just quickly skin the UI little guy, and then make it a toggle, then I really don't,
Would be also dope to see you guys PvP a little. We do. Some of us do PvP and play BR. We just don't keep our names because
no.
obvious reasons.
I play under a secret name because
I always
it's
change my name,
impossible.
change my character. It is like it is very. I mean, even for me, when I try streaming New Z, I can't because people don't want me to play New Z. It's that simple. They do everything in their power just to make me not want to play. So I only play off stream now. Zonta, NA isn't a joint server for all players. Not really, because people in Asia have a higher ping to NA than to Europe.
Well, it depends where in Asia.
Yeah, of course,
Um,
but in general. Like Thailand and China, I know they have a lower ping to EU.
Although Japan has a lower ping, I believe, to the states. Depends what coast of the states, of course. So now and then, now again, like the states is a really big country.
Pumpkin, you can use VPNs, yes, but VPNs don't perform miracles.
No,
Okay,
VPNs can
they
if
just
for
improve your
example,
route. That's it.
yeah, exactly. If your internet provider, say the company you buy your internet from, basically has bad routing, it can happen that your connection goes backwards and then forwards, and then it does all kinds of like stupid jumps because of the routing, and that can actually make your ping unstable or make it high and other things. So it really depends on your case scenario. Sometimes a VPN or VPNing to the country where VPNing, sorry, sometimes VPNing to your own country, so somewhere close to you, can actually help stabilize the ping, or even in some cases decrease it as well. But it doesn't do magic. It really depends on what your situation is with your current provider and what routes your provider offers, basically.
Alright, Lord Waldy asks, we need a stash button in GI Locker. I don't remember what it was, but you said there was an issue with making a stash all button in the
Yeah.
GI Locker.
The biggest issue with the stash button in the GI locker is the fact that it's not it's it's not a sync. It's like an async procedure. It's really hard to explain in non-programming words, but it was a, let's just say it as this: the stash button on a locker isn't worth the amount of time and effort it would take to actually design a feature that works securely and doesn't cause any dupes or any loss of items and stuff like that.
All right. What about players from South Africa? I know a lot of players who only can play EU and even they have 200 ping. Yeah, that's the issue. Like I said, we are a small company. We can't have servers everywhere. We're trying. Like we've got the Oceania servers for privates. Um, so yeah, there's always a risk. But we could try. We just gotta find like something that would work because, like I said, some countries we've looked, for example, in the Philippines, and the prices are extremely high, and the quality is extremely low.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you guys are right. It says TK. Yeah, I'll get it fixed for next patch.
Yeah, Yorkshire, that's exactly what it is. You know, we learn from mistakes. Our anti-cheat and our anti-cheat coder, they learn a lot from behavior that happens. Like with the dupes, as soon as we found a dupe, we were able to do it, and then we were able to block it, and that's how it is. Is the mode that will bring back most players. Yes, Dario. Most players that come back will eventually come back to survival. They will spend some time in arcade as well, of course. But yeah, the idea is the future of New Z. I personally see, and I think everyone agrees, that is survival. Arcade is populated. People have their GIs, so people will keep playing there. Okay, and we're not going to force them out of there because there's a lot of time and money invested for them there, because it's been around since 2015. But yeah, we could. Yeah, we do want to make survival as the game mode to be played. Yeah, Calypso made a good point. Yeah, otherwise my parents will stop playing PvE. Exactly. Healthwire for arcade PvP similar to Clan Healthwire, but well, no, that won't work. How much you purchase this game from you all? Legit question. I mean, Dario, the fact that you, at your age, is asking that on a live stream just shows us that you're not ready to discuss something like that. So you can't say you're asking this in the nicest way when you're asking that in a public forum. Hey DK, how you doing, Vaga?
Hey Vaga, it's been a long time.
Looking weirdo.
How you doing, man?
Do you think in adding rewards for leveling up, like the premium daily rewards? Because I don't see the point of account level. Yeah, sure, we could see something like that. Has there been an increase in Thailand players log into the game after Infestation Thailand went down? I don't think it's fully gone down, Banana Joe, but there has been a new influx of Thai players, yes. No, I'm not taking too hard, Dario. I'm just answering, I'm more like explaining to you the logic, you know? You don't ask that in public. I mean, the fact that you're asking that in public just shows us that you're not. It's not even a serious question. Otherwise, you would actually ask in a proper forum. Like, for example, on the Fredaikis website. Go by rights of aftermath. Fuck Nether. No, no, it's just splitting up the community even more. That's not what we're doing. We will be, yeah, we will be discussing a lot. All right, guys, do we have any final questions? It's almost 2 hours of streaming. Right, a community manager is that he should respond. No, I mean, if it is something that should be responded on Discord, yeah. Not a PvP. So if solo or co-op, you'd make a gamer happy. Pigeon, we try or Pigeon. We've tried to add solo servers for people, but it just didn't get populated. So that's why there are private servers as well. No, I know, joking, guys. You can't get to me. Listen, when you talk to me, when you talk shit about me to me, it doesn't get to me. Okay, just answer. Survival Super Cup and survival. That doesn't even make sense. I pitched a touching Fruit Loops. Touching something as essential as snipers is just gonna rub a lot of people the wrong way. It is something extremely delicate. Even with the
Yeah.
ARs, we've had issues. Imagine with the snipers.
I mean, even every
Banana
time
Joe,
we
we
touch
just okay.
any
Wait,
shots.
let me just answer Banana Joe because we just
Yeah.
said we've had the idea, okay, and then now we're gonna start developing the new game mode, and he's already asking for footage.
Oh no, but yeah, it's all an idea. We have sold a lot of logistics behind it, so how everything will be put together. But the project is far from done.
Yeah, Fredaikis has an extremely cute face. That is true. I have to agree with you. Kappa.
But yeah, I'm glad you guys have good questions. It feels like
Okay.
this.
All right.
I got a lot more out. We got a lot more out
All right,
this
Banana Joe.
Q&A.
The batting system, we are not sure if we can come up with something in time for the Super Cup first stages, but we will try something for sure. If not, we'll just make something unofficial. And when it comes to the drops, yes, there's gonna be special drops on the Super Cup. We
Quick
plan on that.
question:
Hmm.
would you guys like developer streams, like when I'm working on the game?
Yes. Yes.
No, I'm not asking
Yes.
you. I'm asking the community.
I am the community. I'm all of them combined. Look at my size. You know, if you put Banana Joe and Dario together, they're almost half my weight.
I mean, there's some things I cannot stream, obviously, because I can't show the code that much. But for example, I could stream UI stuff or some other stuff that I can show maybe.
I think that would be very fun, Fred.
Yeah.
And people can give
Everyone
live
got so
opinions,
excited,
which is great. And
yeah,
then
that would be
also
cool. Actually.
because people don't come here, like you do something, you work a lot on it, you make it great, and then you release it, and people say, "Oh, that sucks," you know. You don't have to go through that.
Yeah, but I could definitely try to stream a day. Just chill working, nothing super planned. Just me doing my thing.
Kaboom, we do
That,
Q&As all the time. It's like pretty much once a month we have Q&As now. This one took a bit longer because there were the vacations. Yeah.
Christmas and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but we usually, I mean, the last
Holidays.
one we did was like mid-December, and then before mid-November. All right, hold your horses. All right, Dario's getting weird. He's too young, so yeah, this is. I think this is where we end, right?
Yeah. But thank you. Appreciate all the love and support, guys.
Jesus, this got
No, but
scary real quick.
yeah.
Brazier skin. All right,
Oh,
guys.
the blazer skin. Yeah. Dude,
All
I
right,
was like
guys.
17 on that picture. Jesus.
We're gonna be
All right,
ending.
sorry.
No, fuck that,
Yeah.
Dario. I'm not making out with you. You're ugly. All right, guys. Thank you all for participating. Thank you all for the good questions. Thanks, Fred, for being here, taking time out of coding and fixing shit. And now, if people complain about how long it's taking to fix shit, you just say, "Hey, I was in a Q&A, and you guys
Yep.
weren't there. So what's up with
You'd
that,
be
huh?"
surprised the amount of stuff you can do in 2 hours.
Uh, there's no gap between the community and the devs, Mike Gordon. Let me just make this clear. The gap there is between the community and the community. Something that you would like to add and your friends agree with you is something that, let's say, just as an example, but that's something that Dario's friends don't want to be added. So you gotta take that into consideration. You know, it's not a group of people who make a suggestion that that suggestion needs to come true, because there are too many people in the game. There are too many people in the community. It's not as simple as just saying, "Hey, me and my friends agree." Of course you agree. You're friends. Of course you're gonna agree on 90% of the things like that. You guys play together for tens of years, you know. So yeah, we just did Fruit Loops. This was literally the goal and the idea of the Q&A. Update us, you guys, on the ideas we're considering. Yes, Fred has a big Twitch channel. You can see it above his name over there, right there. Can you point to it? Thank you. Right. All right, everyone. Thank you very much. I'll see you all around.
Yeah, see you guys. Thanks for watching, and keep the questions coming for the next Q&A, I guess.
Yep.
I'll see if I can make it into that one as well. All right. Take care, guys.